right now.
Hey, Amy, can I compliment you on your nice desktop? Well organized.
Steve would have been crying. I'm glad he's not here. Oh no, we're recording. Well, thank you. If you saw my last computer when I first started at the VA, it really made Steve cry. And I had one of those great big, iMacs, and the whole screen was filled with icons. He was just like, oh. So today we're going to talk about catch lights, and catch lights are in the eyes, and how I'm going to talk about how important they are in portraiture. The catch light is a light source that causes specular highlights in the subject's eyes. The term can also refer to the highlight itself. So I want you to know, if you look up catch light, it can be the light that is producing the incident highlight, or it is the incident highlight that you're seeing in the picture. So it's the same term. And I already call it incident highlight. I was taught as an incident highlight, but catch lights, it's the same thing. Not only do you use catch lights in portraiture, but you would need to use it in food photography. So try to relate this to food photography too, because it has that same little sparkle that we're looking for. Let's see, what do catch lights do? Here's an example of a puppy picture, and she doesn't have any catch lights. And so I took this, thought it was the cutest picture, but I added catch lights to give you an example of how all of a sudden there's brightness to the picture. When you have no catch lights, you'll get the feeling that it's sad, or another adjective is unavailable, vacant, distant, and like nobody's home, right? It's just not the same as putting those little tiny bright lights in. So with the bright lights, you might think of bright, happy, intelligent, healthy, pretty, cute. Catch lights can make all of that feeling come alive. Even in this kind of photography, you guys know I used to have chickens, and I was raising them, and I shot chicks all the time because they're just the cutest thing. So in one of them, I've got a catch light, but the other one just doesn't look quite there. And then she tilted her head, and I was able to get catch lights in both the chicks. And I'll go back again so you can get that feeling. She just doesn't look as noticeable, she just doesn't look that. And now she's got that one little tiny speck of light, and that makes all the difference. I'll show you another chick. This is the same shoot, different chick, and this is the same chick. And that just, it gives her character. It gives her a brightness.
Amy, how do you spell that word? Chest lights or
Oh,
yeah.
Catch light?
Yeah.
Oh, like you're catching a ball and
Catch light. Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for asking that.
Okay.
Another example of, I shot the one on the right. That's how I shot it with the lights. And all I did to this picture was take out those highlights in the left side.
Yeah.
And you can just see, she looks almost alien or flat, it just, there's no sparkle in that personality.
That's great.
Thanks.
What a difference.
Yeah, isn't that a big difference? I've got this bar at the bottom. Okay, I can do this. No, come on. I did the same thing just to make the demonstration. All I did to her was take out the catch lights in her eyes. The catch lights can have a way of describing a three-dimensional orb that's in our face. And the way the light hits it and the reflections hit it make her eyes look real doughy, glassy, and you just want to give her a hug. But the one on the left just does not have that. She's a cute little girl, but it just isn't the same picture. Now this
Mhm.
one, the way I shot it was on the right. And this time I added catch lights to her eyes. I did that in Photoshop. I think the one on the right, she looks a little demonic. I mean, like, look
Yeah.
out, she's gonna stab you. But on the left, she looks like she's got character and a little bit of sparkle to her, that she's, you know, she's sassy, but the one on the right, it just does not look right to me.
Mhm.
And just a fun fact, that's the same little girl that that you saw in the other pictures. Okay, again, the one on the right is how I shot it, and the one on the left is what I added.
Mhm.
And I think it just changes the whole, she looks sad to me on the right, just really sad. And on the left, to me, she looks pensive.
Mhm.
Okay.
Does Photoshop have a variety of catch lights that you can?
Oh, we're gonna talk about
Oh,
that. I'm
okay,
gonna tell
okay.
you how to do it, and I'm gonna do
Mhm,
some
okay.
demonstrating of it. And
Mhm.
so there's ways to shoot for catch lights. All right, so I had a big window behind me. They just got out of the swimming pool, and you can just go 3/4 of like away from that window and still get a beautiful catch light. You don't have to be straight on. You've got quite a range when you're using a window to get catch lights. So this is open shade. In open shade, that means you're in shade, but you have a lot of light coming in from different directions. This was shot at a parking garage. I love that background. This is where I didn't have very many places to shoot. I had a lot of people to get through on headshots. So we just went to the parking garage and had this gorgeous side lighting on both sides. And it made really nice lights in the eyes. So that's the first one was with a window, and this is open shade. And this is with a reflector. So she's heavily backlit, and I had a big silver reflector right under my lens, tilting toward her chest, and that bounced all that beautiful light that was behind her right back into her face. And she's got just terrific, you know, glittery eyes. She's just got a sparkle that's just beautiful. You can see down here all that light going underneath her chin there that filled all that in.
Very nice.
This is in a studio. And this is kind of fun because you can tell when you see a picture of a model or something, you go, I wonder how that was lit. Well, you go to the eyes. And this will tell you, I pretty much had 2 even lights at 45-degree angles, and just a tiny bit hotter on the left side to make a little bit darker on the right side, excuse me. That was my son. He did a lot. He went with me to assist quite a bit for a few years. And he was my model a lot to test lights before we actually started shooting. So we have studio light. They'll add and a flash. Sometimes if it's used correctly on your camera, it can add a catch light. And you've got open shade and a window. Now, when you're doing catch lights, I did this on purpose. Now, I made a catch light in the wrong place on the right side, and that just doesn't look right. You just get the feeling like something's wrong. And here it is with the catch light that was shot, and it makes her eyes look not so kind of off. It makes it more symmetrical to have the catch lights in the right spot of the eye. Okay, I started with this. This is where, this is how I shot it. And to me, the dog looks kind of sprung because the catch lights are not even, which means his eyes are a little off, right? And doesn't have that even look. So you can go in Photoshop and then change that catch light to match the other catch light, which makes the dog actually look a little calmer and just kind of intense, but beautiful. Let me go back. Do you see the change? Yes? Okay.
Same spot.
You see the change, Barbara?
I think, yeah.
Okay, let me go back.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong way.
Uh,
There's a catch light in the
yeah, oh,
middle
yeah.
of his pupil. And that his eyes look kind of starey because they're not, the catch lights don't match, even though this is the way he was. But I changed it in Photoshop to make it look not so scary.
Ah,
So the idea is describing a round form. And you can shoot a wet grape and see what I mean for catch lights and move it around to different places. So this is our eye and how it's shaped. And when you put a catch light in manually, it's okay to put it over the iris and into the white, because that would happen when they're looking in a window or something like that. It's okay to manually put in 2 catch lights. I would always make one a little bigger than the other to make it look more real. And you can do different shapes. I like this shape a lot because it makes it, it describes that round form again.
Mhm.
And then this is the kind of the quintessential, if you're drawing a round circle, you put that shape or just even a square, it doesn't have to have that little curve to it. It will look like a balloon that's 3-dimensional. Just that one shape in the middle of a circle will make it look 3-dimensional. Oh, I thought I took these out. I did not. In a dark room, the iris will be wide open. I just thought that was interesting. I wasn't really gonna, and then a bright room, it shuts all the way down. So if you want to change the look of a picture and you want to increase the size of the iris, it makes people look more alluring to have it big. Okay, now I'm gonna go into.
Makes them look stoned too.
Yeah. And now I'm going to go into Lightroom and Photoshop, and I'm going to do a demonstration. Okay, here's a dog. I'm gonna develop. So she has no catch lights in her eyes. And I'm going to open this up and go into Photoshop. Oh, we have a chat. Catherine, did you see that?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is enlarge this so I can see what's going on. And there are no catch lights. Well, maybe a little bit over here. But what I do is I go into the clone tool. And I check my size. I think that's probably a really good size. And then I'm going to take a sample from somewhere in the picture that I think it's a good example of bright, and I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to add just something simple as that. And now I'm at 66 opacity. I like to make them each one a little different. And this eye is much more in shadow, so that if it did have a catch light, it would be much more diminished.
Mm.
And I'm going to go pick like if I come in here, that will make the dog look cross-eyed. You can see just my marker there and make it all look funny. But I just come over here and add something much simpler and see if that's enough. I might. Nope, I'm going to change that. I'm going to go edit, undo that one, and I'm going to kick it up. Not enough. Yeah.
That looks right.
Okay, now we're going to step back and take a look at it.
Mhm.
And I think that looks pretty
A
good.
lot better, yeah.
Doesn't that give her a
Mhm.
little more life and a little more pizzazz? Okay, I'm going to save this and
Mhm.
we'll look at that together in a minute. Okay, when I go save, and that's going to put it back into my Lightroom. And I close close this. And then I'm gonna go into another image. Let's see if I can look at the. Oh, okay, there's without, and there it is.
Wow.
Out. And they're just subtle little things. It just makes such a difference. Let me go back into my library. Now I pulled this one out for a reason, and there's times you do not want catch lights. A catch light in this would make it look eerie because that light doesn't wrap around far enough to actually have a catch light naturally. And it just looks weird to put it in. So that's a time I would not go in and manually do a catch light. I like the sensibility of this. I feel that I like the really dark shadows. It makes him look pensive, and I just really love this edge light on him. Let me go back into my library.
We're using a mask tool and changing the iris of his left eye,
I
brighten
still,
that up a little bit with
I
that.
don't think I want to brighten it.
No?
I like I said, the sensibility of that is where I like it. But if you're a client that said, hey, I need to see the eye, you could. But I think it's so far off the scale from like brightening it up and everything. You're just going to lose the rest of the feel of the photograph.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's go into help develop. And there are some lights in this, but I think I can make it better. Okay, again, I'm just going to go with the clone, and this is way too small for that photograph, so I need to. My husband has a term called, he says you embiggen something, so I'm going to embiggen it. I'm going to make it more pixels. That to me is still too small. Oh, we're getting in there now. And I'm going to pick up probably this value back here, I think is good. I'm going to make it bigger. I kind of went out there and went crazy. Okay, so we're going to pick up these here. Oh, I think I think when I'm getting ready for it, I think it's still, that circle is a little too big. Okay. And I think I'll just do, it's at 54% opacity up here. You can see how opaque it's going to make it. I think I'm going to change the size a little bit and the opacity. Not much. Oh, well, that was a mistake. Here, let's edit, undo that one. And I got to pick up those pixels again. I think that's good. This one might be a little bit too bright, but I think it's good enough for the demonstration. Do you guys agree, or do you want me to go back and?
No, I see how
Yeah, it's a little.
it brings out the roundness of the eye. When you enlarged it, that eye was like flat, like a piece of paper. Now it looks
Yeah.
totally round. Gives it
good.
depth. Really
Yeah,
does.
it does.
That's
It does.
amazing.
It just describes it. It's a three-dimensional.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Did I do all my examples in my library? I did. All right. Then I'm going to go back see, I'm gonna minimize that and come back into my file folder. That's not what I wanted. That was portraits I sent to you, Kevin. All right, let me, no. So let's just take a look at these for a minute. Now that you know what you're looking at, I'm not gonna show you where I take them out, but just enjoy now for a second looking at these beautiful highlights and what they do for that picture. Now you can tell pretty much where I'm shooting this. Can you see me in the reflection?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a blue sky behind me.
Mhm.
And I think another adult standing next to me probably trying to make the baby smile.
Mhm.
So you didn't have to add anything to
I didn't
her.
add anything to these. No, this was just shot like this. And I just wanted to show you when, you know, you can make it happen. So if you're thinking about it and you get near a window or, you know, because a window's free, you know, it doesn't take that much to have the window at your back and that little baby looking at you.
Mhm.
You can see it's a 2-pane window.
Mhm.
And I think if she didn't have those lights, it would just be flat, and she's stunning. I mean, she's just so beautiful, but those lights in her eyes just like kick it off. And this goes back to me harping on you guys about bringing out spray bottles, shooting flowers. It's the same idea.
Mhm.
It's that incident highlight just makes it pop, just makes it pop.
Mhm.
Another thing when you're adjusting highlights and eyes, if you brighten the eyes to get rid of the red out, you know, and teeth or something like that, you really want your the whites of your eyes and your teeth to be the same value, pretty much. I mean, close enough. If they're a very old person, they'll probably have a lot of yellow in the whites of their eyes and yellow teeth, but we want them to talk to one another and be the same, unless you're doing a Crest commercial for white teeth, and then they make the teeth like 10 times whiter than the eyes. But that's just a little trick that you know now to make your face that you're shooting look more normal, but still beautiful. That is all the information I have. Do you want me to do any more demonstrating, or do you feel like you can go back and try it yourself? How do you feel?
I'm ready to try it.
Okay, good.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Is there any time where you would remove that natural?
There are
Yes,
times, yeah, like, well, I removed it and moved it on the dog, you know, I changed location of it. But anytime I would remove it, it would be just to change the shape of it or to take my own image out of it.
Oh, I see. Oh,
If
yeah,
you-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes
yeah.
babies, you know, you're so close on them, it is a mirror, you know, it's like, what's going on? And so I might make it a total like rectangle shape, or just clean up the middle of it. When I was shooting outside once in this little baby, and you could see the palm trees. It's like, it kind of made a funny, you know, star shape. So I just made it, I just followed what it had. A lot of times
Okay.
you get a faint highlight and it's just not enough. You just want to brighten it. You can just go right over. You can dodge in Photoshop, just dodge out a highlight or the midtone. It'll just brighten that one area up. Yep. How long did that
Okay.
take me?
Here's a picture of my daughter that. I
Oh,
took a
hold it
while
up
back.
higher. Hold it
And
up
I
right
did-
next to your
I
head, John.
will, but I never noticed, it does have highlights. catch lights, and I never paid attention to them at all, but it makes a big difference. I don't know if you can see them.
Is it, I can't, so
It's probably,
is it a studio shot?
probably too fuzzy. No, I was taken inside the house.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, window
Yeah.
coming in from the side. or
Uh-huh.
Light coming in the side.
yeah,
I don't think my Zoom camera is good enough to show it.
okay. But yeah, it's like sometimes you take a portrait, like just of a girlfriend, out doing something, and it just doesn't have it. And then sometimes you get that catch light, and most times it's that catch light that's missing,
Mhm.
and it just makes them look dull and not so happy and present. But now one of the big secrets of good photographers.
Mhm.
Also
You
shooting
think
food,
it's great.
if you shoot food, you don't have that incident highlight. It looks dry, like you don't want to eat it. But if it looks like, John, you take some beautiful things with just wet fruit and things, that is an incident highlight that makes you just want to go eat that fruit. But try it without incident highlight, make it flat, and you go, oh yeah, that's not good.
Huh.
Good.
All
Any
right.
Are there more questions?
Take a lot of close-ups of faces.
Uh-huh.
I just posted a little baby and I just looked back to see if I picked up the highlights, and it did.
Yeah,
But-
okay.
Now I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon. all over them.
Good. You'll be talking to somebody that you're having coffee with and go, oh God, the highlights in your eyes are fantastic right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
But I remember you told us a long time ago that if you're taking pictures, you should encourage people to get closer to the window,
Mhm.
and especially little kids. But yeah, and that
And as actually, especially old people, because it
Mm.
fills in a lot of those deep, deep lines that they've got. And just throws a lot of light in their face.
Mhm.
Yeah, it can help. It helps everybody, that big window. If you go into a really nice studio, they have soft boxes that are huge. You remember Bill Livingston talking to us about shooting cars, and the soft boxes were like 5 feet by 8 feet, and they're suspended. And so that's how on cars you get that beautiful highlight going down there, like over the roof and down the hood. Well, a window sometimes can be just as big as those big soft boxes. They're really nice. So that's what, and you can just shoot cell phone and get really nice portraits, really nice lighting. I did a cell phone job. Oh, I'm going to do cell phone portraiture later, so I'll save that. I was going to show you another job I did, but yeah, we'll save that for later. But this is enough for now, I think.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
interesting.
You guys will be busy tonight.
I think the old movies,
Good.
like from the 1950s, black and white movies used to really overdo it with catch lights on the eyes. They would have light kind of bouncing off of the teeth.
Yes,
The-
yeah, and the old 1940s. If you guys want to look up somebody who does beautiful catch lights, but it's a lot, is George Harrell
Uh-huh.
and Clarence Bull are both 1940s, the starlets when they had their eyelashes that were so long and the shadows would go down on their cheek. And I mean, that is a
Yeah.
study in lighting. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And they do the really short depth of field where the eye is tack sharp. And by the time it gets to the ear, it's totally blown out.
Uh-huh.
There's a cheater way to do that. Catherine, remind me, I'll do a class on that to make that old Hollywood look without using an 8x10 view camera and studio lights and stuff like that. There's a kind of a fun way. And I've used that in some kind of boudoir portraiture where you really want it to be dreamy and out of focus, like the old Hollywood style. And it's all done in Photoshop. And it only takes 15 minutes to work on a photograph to make it look like the old Hollywood style.
Mhm.
All right, Catherine, remember that I'm going to do that and
I'm writing down.
Thank you. Thank you for being my assistant. I can't find anything right now. It's either packed in a pod going to Leisure World, or it's already up in Paso, or it's in a big heap in my daughter's garage. I just don't know what to do.
Wow.
It'll get sorted out. All
This is-
right.
Fantastic, Amy. This was fantastic. Thank you. so
Good,
much.
good. And it didn't take me that long. I practiced it a couple times. I thought, ooh, this is gonna be a long lecture, but it went quickly. All right,
Good.
get to work. So can we do that? Do you want to do a catch light thing for our challenge, Catherine?
I just put out, we could do it next week.
Okay. What's the new challenge?
Signs of spring.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So do you want to send me something for, we can put it next week?
Sure, that's fine. Now this spring, don't forget to take your spray bottle because you're probably going to shoot flowers, right? See,
Mhm.
I'll get you going with that incident highlight. All right, very good.
Thank
And
you.
so-
It's very
so I'm
nice.
I'll stop sharing and you can stop recording.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're
Fantastic.
welcome.
Can I throw this out there?
Yeah.